we're going over the top 5 hardest dinos to tame in Ark, starting with number 5, the Quetzal Coatlus. Now, why is this thing so hard to tame, in fact? Well, the reason why is because of where it is. So this thing doesn't fight back, it just flies away, and they're fast, very fast, and normally they'll be flying very high in the air, like as tall as that mountain over there, and taming a Quetzalcoatlus on solo is really hard unless you have a griffin or, I don't know, use the grappling hook strategy. And if you mess one thing up, you're dead. Because you know what's going to happen? You're just going to fall to your death. And, yeah. I mean, all of these dinos are pretty worth the tame except for one. Maybe not. Yeah. I mean, the Quetzal's really good for, it's used as a farm or a battle mount, a taming mount, a lot. I mean, just solely based off of where it is, of its habitat, and like how high up it is, and how fast it will just run away. That's why it's so hard to tame, and why it's at number 5. Next up at number 4, we have the giant bee. Now, this giant bee is not worth the tame at all, really. So what can it do? So first, how do you tame it? Well, you gotta go to the redwood forests, and everything there wants to kill you, and you need to break open its beehive, and you gotta make sure you don't get annihilated by the drones, and you gotta find the queen bee, and it's a passive tame, which means you go behind it, and you gotta feed it rare flowers or simple kibble, maybe simple kibble or rare flowers, but yeah, and you gotta and it's gonna keep spawning in its minions, and you gotta make sure they don't get annihilated. And once you do tame it, you can make a nice beehive, and you can collect honey, which you can use to make. Oh no! I'm swarmed. Oh yeah, did I forget to say that you'll get swarmed by bees immediately, and they'll just stun you, dismount you unless you're using a dire bear. And I mean, you can use them to collect honey, and I mean. And also, there's a safer way to collect honey. Use dire bears after the TLC. So that's what the giant bee is at number 4. Next up at number 3, we have the rock elemental. This big guy. So this thing is on Scorched Earth, Ragnarok, Volargo, Extinction, and Crystal Isles. And this thing is a giant, like, rock golem. So what do you need to do to tame this thing? Now, you can't use tranquilizer darts because it doesn't work on it. It doesn't work. And so you're going to have to knock them out using cannons, ballistas, rocket launchers, boulders. Best would be cannonballs. But once you do get it knocked out without getting annihilated... Oh yeah, and did I mention it has ranged attacks? Yeah, it can throw rocks. And sometimes you can be just surprised by it. It can just do this. You can sometimes you could just be scrolling down, and then this happens. This thing just comes out, and you're pretty much annihilated. I mean, and once you do get it knocked out, you're gonna be waiting a while, because according to the wiki, if you don't have extraordinary kibble, which is already hard to get, then you're gonna have to use sulfur or clay or rocks, and that's gonna take a while. It takes so long, in fact, that I'm pretty sure you could go to Japan and back. I'm pretty sure you could go to Italy and back, and it still wouldn't be tamed up. Okay, maybe that's exaggeration. I mean, it is totally worth the tame, because you can use that as a security dinosaur and a big surprise. Now, next up, this at number 2 is the Reaper King. This is only on Aberration in Genesis, Part 1 and maybe Part 2 now. The Reaper King is really hard to tame, if you don't know. Now, if you want to tame this big xenomorph, I'll tell you how. So first you gotta find the queen. You gotta get impregnated by it, just like, in the movie Alien, you know that xenomorph thing, you know that. You gotta get impregnated, make sure you don't get annihilated by it, and then you gotta escape, and then you gotta, like, nurture the thing that's the impregnated Reaper King, and it takes 12 hours. So unless you want to be waiting a while, then it's going to take a while. Once you do, you got to nurture it again with, I don't know, nameless venom. I don't know. I don't play Aberration. I haven't played Aberration, but like, it's just so hard to tame. So, like, I can't even explain it. So now, at number 1, at the hardest. Number one, hardest tame in Ark Survival Evolved is the Tusateuthis. You see this big guy? Let me put my flippers, so how do you tame this little squid? So first you need to, I don't know. First you need to find which they're pretty rare. They'll spawn in the oceans, like on the ocean floor, which is already swarmed with megalodons, mosasaurs, plesiosaurs, those kind of jerks. And then you gotta, I don't know, you need to grab one of your teams. I'd recommend, I don't know, taking a tech mosasaur, an armored a turtle, and then you gotta swim through its tentacles. And you see that little beak right there? You know that thing, that beak? You gotta feed it black pearls, which are already rare to get unless you want to go to Captain Jack Sparrow's ship. And then you gotta keep doing it. You gotta make sure you don't get annihilated. And if your scuba tank breaks, I don't know what to say for you. You're pretty much dead. It is just way too hard to tame. Although, oh my god, it is totally worth the tame because it is so good. It's just too good. Oh yeah, and I mentioned that these little jerks could appear, these jellyfish. I mean, this thing is really powerful, actually. Look at that. Look how powerful it is. Although I did... And so that is the top 5 hardest dinosaurs to tame in Ark, and let's hope to God that you can actually get these things without wanting to clench your butt cheeks. So we'll see you later, guys.